in order to make mashed potatoes, first we see our potatoes right here. Then we're gonna want to give our potatoes a little bit of a rinse as such. And you see the proper way to do that would have been to use some kind of cloth or something. I'll just use, paper towels because that's how most people would actually do it, in a hurry. So now it's time to peel the potatoes. And, this is going to be a little bit difficult to do with one hand. But, see that? Try to... That's sort of the idea. See, now I'm going to go ahead and not do it with one hand. So, I'll just get that. So it should kind of look like this in the end. So how would you be able to describe how you would actually do the cutting part? Well, sort of hold the side of your knife near the surface of the potato and kind of push it without cutting or thrusting very hard. Obviously hold the potato with one hand for support, and then with your cutting hand, whichever is your basically the hand you write with, I guess. Sort of try to peel around, and you don't, if you're not good at it in the beginning, just be just do it just a little bit at a time. Don't be in a complete hurry, and then I guess that's something that is perfected or becomes much quicker over time with more experience. Oh, but hey, I don't really have time to do all of that. So now, what am I going to do? I want to do something that's fast. I'm hungry. I want to eat now. Well, we'll see. So now we get another pot. Preferably the one that you didn't clean the potatoes in. Fill that with water. And for those ladies and gentlemen that can't wait, we take a kettle and fill the kettle itself with water. So now we get the potatoes. Just so how we'll be seeing how that would be done. So now we have our potatoes in the water, and we're going to turn up the heat first to maximum intensity, and then when it starts to boil in a few minutes, a couple of minutes, maybe close the lid. Then we'll actually turn down the intensity to about a medium, and then we'll wait for it to boil. So we can see that it's starting to boil. The lid actually helps speed up the heating process. Though you could have used, if you wanted to be a little faster, you could have put boiling water, and then that would have severely sped up the boiling process, which is fine because we're not actually we just want to boil the product, and we don't want to bring out any particular taste, but we want to finish the product right now and then do the adding flavors later. Now we can see that it's bringing a boil. Now the bubbles, that's don't worry about that because we're just boiling the stuff. We can give it a good rinse after. So now what you want to do is lower the temperature. And I think we should wait for about 15-20 minutes or so. Yeah, we'll wait about 15 or 20 minutes or so. Maybe 30. It depends. We'll see. We just need our potatoes to reach, to be boiled and cooked. And now it's about time to check up on the potatoes, see if they're okay. So get a fork and prod them. They're a little hard, so just give them a few more minutes on medium heat. So is our concoction ready? Yes. They're soft now, so and we'll slowly dispose of the burning water. Or you can just put it in a funnel, in a sieve, just past the strainer. Fill that up with some coldish water so we don't burn our precious hands. And also to rinse that a bit, just a tiny bit, if you know. There you go. A bit more. It's water. It's not going to hurt the food in this situation. Now I'd recommend getting like a cereal or a soup bowl. Just pop the potatoes in as such. Yeah, you can see that they're cooked. So now we're going to make it into mashed potatoes. Right, so now we have our salt, butter, my favorite black pepper, olive oil in this situation, and we're off to make mashed potatoes. So first you want to see what I'm doing there? You want to break up the potatoes first. Kind of dig into them. Dig them up into small little pieces. Break them up into small little pieces, with your spoon or a fork. Obviously, a fork is better. Much better. To kind of dig into it, or cut it with the sharp side, the side of the spoon. So we should have something that looks like this. And now try to give it a kind of do like a stabbing motion on it to break it up into. Obviously, if you have a blender like civilized people, that'll be better. So stab into that first, and then when it starts to become mashed, kind of spin it around a bit, and then just dig into that. Just, beat it up. Take out all your lockdown anger and nerves onto the potato mixture. So now we should, to make that mixture better, add a little bit, not too much, of olive oil. Maybe even cooking oil, I suppose, wouldn't be that bad. You know. It's got that olive oily aroma right now. Now, my trick normally would be to squeeze in some mayonnaise. And, the mayonnaise, kind of like a creamy buffer thing. That would go really well, and it would be fast and tasty. But there is no mayonnaise today. Instead, I'm gonna get a little bit of butter. Some people might use fresh cream, maybe a little bit of milk. Put the butter in like that. There you go. It should ideally, start melting from the temperature, from the mixture's temperature. So mix that together. Ideally, when not holding your phone with one hand, try to be thorough and the butter will mix, and it will make it the mashed potato or puree potatoes more puree-like. Ha ha ha. Anyway, it's getting there, Give it some thrust, give it some stabs. Now, add some salt, obviously at your discretion, and your dietary sodium requirements, and stuff. Not too much, not too little. Now mix that in. With one hand, like an asshole. Some black pepper. Mix that in as so. Give it some stab. Just make sure that the mixture kind of mushes in together. Mixes in. Obviously, a blender would make a more uniform puree. Give it a nice thorough mix. Just add a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. Yeah. Of olive oil. You don't have to use olive oil or black pepper. I mean, you can eat it plain if you want. It's up to you. Or you can use fancier ingredients. You can use fresh cream, put a little bit of milk, get a, more creamy texture, taste. You don't have to put black pepper or salt. You can put a little bit more salt. It's up to you. And let's just